Hello and welcome back. Today we're going to reveal 13 incredible psychological statistics about women that will alter your perspective on the world. 97% of men frequently encounter rejection because they are ignorant of these secrets. And guess what? By grasping these, you can become one of the rare 5% who genuinely stand out. Hey women, these aren't just for the men. These are the things you should know about yourself. Make you alluring and captivating before we start. Would you please a simple favor? Click the like button if you're eager to learn these secrets. Helps us deliver to you more impactful content. Please ring the bell and subscribe if you haven't already. You never miss out on our most recent videos. If you enjoy this, let's keep it lively. Topic: if you think we can make Type Z better, please leave a comment below and let us know. Know how? Let's get right into these amazing revelations that will change your knowledge about women and relationships. Mentality number. According to a study, one lady falls in love due to scent. If she appreciates the Federal University of, she is more likely to fall in love with him when she smells him. According to Rio de Janeiro, if a woman enjoys a man's aroma, her attraction to him can rise by as much as 85%. Are more sensitive than men because they have 50% more neurons in their olfactory bulb. Knowing how to select the ideal aroma might provide you with a noteworthy benefit in attraction. Watch the film through to the end to find out which scents have the highest psychological stimulation. Two women like males who push the boundaries and get too close to them too soon will most likely be rejected, but if you treat her with respect and a hint of neediness, she is more likely to accept you, likely to establish trust. Be approachable and always feel free to touch. Make careful to interpret her nonverbal cues and psychological facts. Third, although they might not feel anything when they are close to you, women frequently do. If a woman catches your attention, let her know. Don't settle for merely being friends. A study found that 68% of women stated they would think about dating a man if they knew they could acquire. Hence, it's a good idea to express your interest right away. But quietly, if you're curious about how, inquire in the fourth psychological fact. Women choose males before others do. Research on women's interest indicates that when other women express interest in a man, he also becomes 3 times more attractive when a group of women surrounding him. So go out with your female pals and see how other women view you. Friends only need to produce a pre-selection impact that can lead to a relationship. They don't need to be romantically involved. Pique other women's curiosity. Psychological fact number 5. If a lady makes fun of you and calls you by nicknames, it means she finds you attractive. Women frequently show their sentiments, therefore it's possible that she is attracted to you and is using fun behavior to win your trust. When you playfully tease her, you can convey your true interest in her through your body language. Curiosity by following along and joking around, saying things like, "You call me that because you enjoy it. Do you think I've observed that, according to psychological fact number 6, women like guys who recognize women's nonverbal cues? They value it when you observe their body language, whether women are not always shy, unlike men. It might be conscious or unconscious, and reluctant to openly express their emotions because they worry about being rejected, which makes them typically avoid it at all means. Instead of vocalizing their feelings, they can convey them through their body language. If a woman expresses her thoughts with a deliberate gesture that she expects you to, if you don't grasp her cues, she may stay mute and expect you to respond in kind. Proceed to learn more about this intriguing psychological tactic. Ask Women Are Especially Concerned About Psychological Fact number 7 in the comments. Their appearance during private times. They are very conscious about their beauty, including the instead of saying nothing. Their lingerie's style and color complement her. on how attractive she appears when having intimate activities. By elevating her confidence, you'll probably discover that she works harder to dress in seductive and striking ensembles that inspire her. Psychological fact number 8. To see you again. When a woman and a guy have an emotional connection, she feels more sensations. Comprehension of the psychological complexity of women's minds can increase her contentment with private moments, because women tend to function more through feelings and sensations than only physicality. You can take your time by using subcommunication and being less direct. Encourage her to communicate her feelings to her and ensure that she feels fully understood. This strategy may intensify her feelings for you, but proceed with caution and consideration at all times. Psychological fact number 9. Women frequently place a great emphasis on their friendships. Studies indicate that women can occasionally feel stronger emotional ties with their partners, sometimes even more so than their partners. When a woman leaves her spouse to meet a friend, she frequently feels more in love with their pals than their boyfriends, more comfortable and supported, since she is aware that her friend will provide her with understanding emotional support. Thus, since emotional fulfillment can occasionally be confused with love, it's advisable to watch attention for your partner's interactions with her close friends, since psychologically, betrayals can happen. Number 10. Some ladies say they go on dates mainly because they get free food. According to American polls, 38% of women could accept a date simply to receive a free. This emphasizes how crucial it is to comprehend the reasons behind a woman's consent to go before asking someone out. Make sure she's truly interested in you. Ask me in the comments below how to determine her level of interest, and I'll offer advice at the conclusion of this. The 11th video, psychological reality, is that when women are upset, they would rather you. If a lady is upset that you are paying attention to her, show her some empathy, and understanding might ease her discomfort and provide light on why she is upset, because women are more expressive of their emotions and possibly less stable emotionally than men. Even though girls occasionally fall for individuals who mistreat them, they are frequently drawn to males who exhibit empathy and concern. More on this dynamic will be explained later. For now, just be ready for the emotional women find enjoyable managing complexity. Additional insight considering the first, a 2017 study examined the psychological effects of fragrance, comparing jasmine and lavender fragrances on both sexes. The study discovered that fragrances with a jasmine basis markedly heightened interest from females. These scents are available in a variety of perfumes, including renowned French brands. I appreciate you seeing the film. Please watch it through to the end. Like to subscribe and comment on stories that are contradictory tales typically show a lack of authenticity, because phony individuals regularly alter their tales to match diverse circumstances or audiences, resulting in differences that may eventually be noticeable, but genuine individuals. While they could overlook small details, they usually stay consistent in their life stories. This intentional discrepancy in made-up narratives method employed to influence or control people. It can be especially harmful connections, both personal and professional, when disparities become increasingly apparent. Conflicting narratives can undermine confidence if you can't trust someone to be honest about their history. How can you, in such professional situations, trust them with your future? When there are discrepancies, it can lead to a hostile workplace where subordinates and superiors cannot be trusted, cannot make wise decisions, so it's important to pay special attention to detecting them. Statements over time as inconsistent behavior patterns could show up. Being vigilant isn't about being paranoid. Rather, it's about shielding oneself from any exploitation or deceit is frequently exposed by challenging tales and requesting clarification. Misconceptions. Since people could find it difficult to keep up a front under examination, shallow ties. People who have shallow ties frequently have shallow. They value superficial interactions more than deep ones, making lots of acquaintances than deep connections. Friendships. These connections are usually founded more on what other people may offer than on respect for one another, and sincere love and shallow relationships are coping mechanisms in social situations. Marked by a lack of complexity and comprehension, these people don't, notwithstanding this, put in the time and emotional energy necessary to create real friendships. Despite knowing a lot of people, their expertise is frequently restricted to names and job descriptions. Having in-depth discussions about aspirations and dreams while disclosing personal challenges. Sincere connection. This method of building relationships is essentially selfish imposters engage in social interactions mainly for the purpose of elevating their standing. Advantages in their careers or other areas, they frequently switch between social circles, always aiming for the greatest favorable connections that downplay the significance of important connections, partnerships that bring happiness in good times and solace in bad. Sometimes these flimsy relationships might have a negative impact on the people who get into partnerships with these fake people who make them feel like they're being used and undervalued when surrounded by phony people might lead to a life that is lonely and devoid of true companionship. And even though they are surrounded by a lot of people, support persons might not truly connect with any of them to identify with. Sexism. Pay attention to how individuals talk about their relationships. Do they only consider what other people can accomplish? They often alter social circles, and they are overly flattering. It can also conceal genuine intentions or foster a false sense of trust in both personal and professional contexts. Maybe serving as a ruse to win favor, divert attention from incompetence, or dedication in work environments where the risk of overly flattering ability to mislead and control, creating a situation where fake words trump real talent. And those who utilize flattery a lot of the time typically struggle with authenticity in other areas of their connections as transactional rather than reciprocal in their life, resulting in a shallow social circle where individuals are valued more for their skills than for their people who are able to discern between flattery and sincere praise are vital for spotting such fraud. Sincere compliments are particular. In contrast to flattery, real accomplishments or characteristics are acknowledged and presented without any hope of advantage, usually unclear, overstated, or unconnected to actual accomplishments. Understanding these distinctions can assist in identifying those who employ excessive flattery as a strategy for manipulation, lack of empathy. This is yet another serious problem. People who are dishonest frequently show a severe lack of real empathy and concern for other people. This is a serious warning sign because people who find it difficult or impossible to emotionally connect with others tend to concentrate, focusing only on their own aspirations and objectives. A lack of empathy can appear in many ways. Methods like failing to recognize other people's accomplishments or showing apathy to their struggles. Sincerely, these people could disregard the surrounding people's emotional health. When there is a severe lack of empathy, they may reject them or not provide support at all. To deceptive or damaging actions, since they don't think about or give a damn concerning how their activities may affect other people. This characteristic is especially detrimental in both personal and professional connections, which can hinder the growth of profoundly important relationships that are one-sided, and in which the wants and feelings of only one party are regularly disregarded or underestimated in work environments. It can create a nasty and unhelpful atmosphere that makes co-workers and employees feel undervalued. And attempting to reveal a lack of empathy, watch how people respond in In what circumstances do people genuinely care about others while they're upset upset, or are they able to acknowledge and appreciate others' accomplishments without focusing on themselves? Responding to these inquiries can demonstrate comprehension and tolerance under trying circumstances, assist in determining whether a person lacks empathy, which is a prerequisite for real and constructive connections. Some people employ the tactic of manipulative behavior. People to manipulate or sway others for their own benefit, frequently at the price of other people's safety and autonomy of others in their immediate vicinity. This behavior can range from subdued to from deceit to overt exploitation. Manipulators usually possess a thorough understanding of human psychology and employ strategies like charm, compulsion, or deceit to accomplish their goals. Such as manipulation can be especially risky since it frequently goes undiagnosed until serious damage has been. Victims may experience confusion, guilt, or even take blame for the manipulator's actions. Manipulative behavior in relationships can produce a poisonous dynamic, where a person is continuously under pressure to live up to the expectations or standards of others, which could result in a decline in self-worth. Identifying and handling nervousness and emotional discomfort in dealing with deceptive behavior in professional situations is essential for preserving healthful regard and sincerity. While comprehending these strategies and adopting preventative steps can aid in strengthening bonds between people, because regard for one another and sincere comprehension pleasant weather. Some friends only arrive in happy times and vanish during difficult ones. During trying times, this pattern suggests a dependable friend or co-worker who is only being there for the good times of a relationship, not the hard ones. These people are eager to rejoice in victories and happy times, yet conspicuously absent at difficult times. This conduct not only makes them disappear, but it also creates a false impression of reliability. People who vanish a lot undermine the faith that has been. When they depart, friends, family, and co-workers may feel forsaken and unsupported in their connections, resulted in emotions of betrayal and loneliness because the connection was founded on fortunate events rather than real professional dedication, which might interfere with team dynamics and obstruct advancement, as when things are tough or stressful, these people don't help. It is crucial to recognize who these people are by closely observing their habits throughout time. Stays dependable and faithful amid trying circumstances, rather than merely when triumphant or joyful moments are broken. False promises are frequently made by those who plan not to follow through on their pledges, which leads to broken promises. Shows a lack of reliability and integrity. Making a promise is, in essence, violating a promise that one has made to someone shows disrespect for both the other person and oneself. Destroys relationships and undercuts confidence. A commitment founded on recognizing and addressing this is vital since broken promises are fundamentally foundational. Conduct is necessary to preserve genuine, healthy relationships in both personal and professional spheres. Promises have repercussions beyond the moment of initial disappointment when they are persistently broken. Promises can result in a person losing respect and credibility in interpersonal interactions. Emotional discomfort resulting in a tense and uneasy environment. It can harm one's reputation in the workplace, endanger one's chances for advancement, and strain ties with colleagues. While working with individuals who frequently violate their word, it is imperative to. This strategy may be used to set clear guidelines and expectations so that you may hold them responsible for their community commitments, can result in behavioral adjustments and aid in defending oneself against the detrimental effects of unreliability. Avoiding relying only on assurances is similarly crucial but overly self-promotion. In their universe, fraudulent individuals are always in the spotlight. They frequently exaggerate their needs for attention and are self-centered. Accomplishments, much self-promotion, is a result of a strong need for approval and appreciation as opposed to sincere assurance or a strong feeling of self. These people typically exaggerate their significance and think they should always be commended and acknowledged because their behavior can be disruptive. In interpersonal interactions in contexts both personal and professional, it can lead to imbalance if one person's requirements and achievements take precedence. Others' work lives, which can create a poisonous atmosphere where cooperation and, when someone wants to stand out, it can be detrimental to the team as a whole. Identifying excessive self-promotion requires paying attention to how people talk about themselves and their achievements, but do they do it regularly? Control conversations by fabricating or exaggerating things to make themselves seem more important or successful. These patterns might be signs of self-serving conduct and inauthenticity, untrustworthy intuition. It's important to trust your intuition. When identifying genuineness, our intuition frequently picks up on minute clues and contradictions before our conscious mind can give them a thorough explanation. Though instincts are not perfect, prejudices and previous experiences might have an impact. Experiences should be balanced with reasoned reasoning, even though following your intuition is crucial. Observation. If your intuition tells you that someone is lying, back off and impartially study their conduct, searching for trends and proof that either confirms or refutes knowing your prejudices. Growing in self-awareness and using intuition can all be beneficial. In conclusion, instincts are a helpful tool that you should refine and trust. When evaluating the genuineness of individuals in our vicinity, they ought to be employed in combination with logical reasoning and observation to get a more accurate and sophisticated grasp of the individuals we engage with, enabling us to create more sincere and significant understanding in authenticity. Non-relationships is essential as we traverse the complexity of human real connections. In relationships involve understanding and wisdom that we've examined crucial ICS traits that, when combined with narrative inconsistencies, disclose the genuine nature of people in our immediate vicinity. Every indication points to their untrustworthiness in their promises. Voyage, but the search is far from over. Our channel hopes to offer you, with continuing understanding and insights to aid in your comprehension of human behavior and partnerships, become a part of a community committed to authentic personal growth. Don't let this be the end of your life by subscribing. Journey. If these thoughts were helpful to you, please hit the like button and please leave a comment below about your experiences and ideas to receive more insightful information. Your tale might serve as a lighthouse for those seeking clarity, so let's get to work. In order to create a more genuine reality, keep your intuition in mind. Is your compass, and the secret to a successful relationship is an enthusiasm to learn. Join us on this never-ending adventure of discovery by subscribing and clicking each share. Your subscription enables us to reach a larger audience and disseminate information that has the power to transform lives. We appreciate your observing. Your biggest strength is your genuineness in a world full of facades. Your relationships will flourish in the light of truth if you embrace and cultivate it. The more you express your suffering, even if it doesn't usually happen, there are certain people who might desire to harm you. Sadly, it's typical for some people to take pleasure in or add to your sorrow. Envy and sadism can impede personal development in a variety of contexts, such as the workplace, social circles, and even families, thus strengthening yourself by learning not to show out your flaws. You resemble a tree in a storm. Its branches and leaves quiver, but its trunk stays securely anchored. In this video, we'll examine how this image embodies silent resilience. 17 Stoic precepts from the well-known philosopher Epicurus, who you may have heard of, additionally encourage you to develop self-awareness, from which power originates from the silent light that brightens the route. Instead of the roar of thunder, concentrate on the information instead of everyday diversion. The first guideline is to be ready for failure, because it's the only way to. The next step in progress is to try the impossible, as described in Epictetus. Being called a fool is not a loss, but a chance for improvement, since it gives you. The Stoic philosopher reminds us that genuine advancement in our careers originates from a protracted phase of experimentation, not from sudden success response to hone in through experimentation. We improve upon what distinguishes us from trial and error, leads to excellence. The second rule is to keep in mind that death awaits at the end of the path. This guidance does not promote pessimism, but instead serving as a reminder that we are ultimately responsible for all we do. Considering this, ask yourself if it's worth spending 20 years of our lives, a house that holds us down and restricted life savings. When death comes, we would gain from keeping a little notebook containing your ideas with you at all times, along with your phones and other necessities, toothbrushes and credit cards. This viewpoint enables us to view setbacks as opportunities rather than as tragedies. Chances to evaluate how we use our time. The third rule is to pay attention twice. Even though we only have one mouth and two ears, nature gave us both for a very good purpose. Reality has a purpose, and that function is to teach us. Instead, we should concentrate on, rather than listening to ourselves speak. Begin today by focusing more on what others have to say. The fourth guideline is to be ready for everything, say and less to your own talks. The worst, and acknowledge that we will experience adverse situations, worrying about possible issues like our kids not succeeding, us losing our jobs, or being divorced. Imagine that Epicurus offers a radical but practical solution to chronic stress, that all you are afraid of has already occurred. This strategy makes your soul stronger. The sixth rule is to identify the risks that fortune can bring with money and come up with coping mechanisms to move forward with dignity. Unexpected shame and alter people's conduct. Once we become wealthy, we might find ourselves dealing with shame that is like a plague. This guilt might contaminate our soul. Recognizing that shame frequently causes us to place the blame elsewhere or on ourselves, the prudent focus is on observing and embracing accountability rather of giving in to the pressure of guilt, as per the sixth rule. Epicurus felt that true wealth could only be found in a contented spirit. Gratitude for what we have brings us happiness, not lamenting what we lack or whining about what we don't have. Keeps us from embracing this mentality, and enjoying our present benefits cultivates humility to help us find joy beyond what we can perceive. The seventh rule, daily practice of humility, as properly learned, is encouraged by Epictetus's philosophy. Recognize that real learning arises from being humble about our ignorance and refraining from thinking too highly of ourselves. As we are aware, true knowledge originates from ignorance and comprehension. Acknowledging our own ignorance and approaching education with a child's wonder and curiosity, acceptance of the fact that we are always learning new things. Your fate is determined by your reactions, so our reactions are really important. As we have no control over what happens to us, we do have power over how things turn out, influence how we react. Although bad things can happen, the events are less important themselves and more on how we respond to them. This viewpoint promotes independent development. Rule 10. Create partnerships with constructive individuals. Should use caution in the same ways that we prevent bodily infection. Avoid negative effects by surrounding oneself with positive and inspiring individuals. While negative effects can sap our vitality and depress our mood, positive impacts can improve our mental health. Rule 11 of Spirits invests in simplicity in a world where luxuries, stressing money and luxuries can be effectively countered by simplicity. Need constant upkeep, which can be expensive. Choosing a simpler way of life can ease financial obligation-related stress and assist in focusing on what really matters. Rule 12. As the sun rises every day, carefully carry out your obligations day without looking for recognition. We must carefully do out our duties. Depend on your dedication to finishing duties, in spite of outside acknowledgement, that using this strategy makes sure we fulfill our commitments and participate. Rule 13. Give our environment real attention and quit worrying. Prioritize the things that you can control to shape your thoughts and behavior. Instead of fretting over circumstances that are out of your control by letting go of worries concerning reputation or achievement, you can use it as fuel to further your principles. And Rule 14. Handle what is within your power. Ignore those who hate you. Spend your time and attention on people who dislike or criticize you for who you are. Greater than their negative, and by refusing to let their views influence you, you keep authority over your own. Rule 15's emotional state and emphasis on personal development come from, it's your job to look for the good in any circumstance, even hardship. Can, if viewed with the appropriate attitude, be a chance for growth rather than a reason to give up on failures. Search for methods to utilize them as chances for progress. Guideline 16. Remain in charge of your responses. Allowing other people's perspectives and common ideas to annoy you entails relinquishing authority over your life by responding negatively, you keep your own emotional equilibrium. Keeps other people from having an excessive impact on your happiness. Rule 17. Authentic friendships are a type of true wealth. Cherish them above material possessions. Friends give encouragement and worth that transcends worldly belongings, fostering lasting relationships. Building relationships is an ongoing commitment that improves your quality of life and offers. In hard times, the timeless wisdom of Epicus provides steadiness, priceless advice on living a more robust and meaningful life. I hope you find that by internalizing these ideas, we may face life's obstacles with grace and purpose. Please share which of Epictetus's smart rules most resonated with you. Personal encounters with these ideas in the comments I read below. If you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe to every single comment. Please support us in continuing to deliver informative content by remembering to click the notification bell to stay informed. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you soon using these ideas on a daily basis for a more gratifying and robust journey.